The Mammut Assist Belay Resistor is probably something I should have got years ago as a heavy climber who slams people into the wall while climbing and falling off all the time. So hi everyone, I'm James from Outside in Hathersage in the Peak District, once again found inside, which is rare for me, but we're down at the Foundry in Sheffield. It's a brilliant climb wall and it's been perfect for testing this beauty out. Over the last few years, you'll have seen brands bringing out devices like this to help with the problem between the weight difference in climbers. Mammut did a little study and they found out that 60% of accidents is to do with the weight difference between the belayer and the climber. Now, as someone who always hovers around 90 and probably a bit more than that, having just been Christmas, I do send people flying. They're often like, you're not that heavy, I don't look that fat, but yeah, they get slammed. So actually it's been really good to use this today. So just to explain, if you haven't seen anything like this before, this is not a belay device. This is not going to stop you. You don't put it on your harness to belay with. This is actually goes on your first quick draw. Now you'll always see these at sport climbing crags, bolted crags, indoor climbing. I really reckon you're going to see it trad climbing because I would say that's a really dangerous thing to happen. You might lift gear out. So let's just not go there for now. So like you might imagine, and you might have seen if you've ever belayed me, the belayers can go flying if I take a hefty fall, sometimes going as far as hitting the first bolt, which one can be quite dangerous if you get dragged across, slammed into a wall, pulled up to the first bolt, or even me, myself, falling further than I should. It's not really ideal. So what this brilliant device from Mammut does is basically make me feel lighter or the belayer feel heavier, whichever you want to think about it, because it puts some friction in the rope. So opening it up, you can see what happens. The rope just slides up nicely through this while you're climbing. It's on the first bolt, and then when I fall off, it will cam it basically like a belay device, but not completely stopping you. It can take from 35 to 45 kilos of weight off. Now that sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? 35 or 45, but what that means is if you attach using the quick draw, it takes around 30-35 kilos off. If you go straight into the first bolt using a screw gate and the device, it takes around 45 kilos off. I must admit, it's been so fun trying this today because sometimes, you know, we go out and talk about a jacket or something and don't do much climbing. It's been great. I had to do lots of climbing, had to do lots of falling, and the difference was amazing. Take one, we didn't use it. Our owner went flying. She's around 65, 68, I can't remember, kilograms. Like I say, I'm 93, 4, something like that at the moment. So quite a difference. And then that first fall, I think she was a bit shocked. She went a lot higher than she thought. So then we did exactly the same again, but on a quick draw, so the equivalent of 35 kilograms of difference. And then actually it was a really nice soft catch still. She only got a little bit taken off the floor, no problems at all. And then we moved to an even steeper route and I did the thing with the locking carabiner. This was awesome. Like Arona basically didn't really move. She had a little bit of movement, so I still had a soft enough catch, but she was not getting slammed. And that would have been a big fall normally and could have hurt. So it worked really nicely. But I think what I was most impressed with is the fact, to me, climbing, I didn't notice anything. I always assumed these things would just make loads of rope drag and it just feel horrible while climbing. I'm like, come on, give me slack. Not at all. It literally runs absolutely perfectly when you're not sort of pulling the rope in tight, trying to catch your fall. And then as soon as the fall happens, it kicks in, does its job, voila, perfect. So what you do is you load the rope in first, make sure you've got it the right way around. Obviously, I'm the climber, she's the hand, I have the rope running up there, clip it shut and clip the carabiner to it. And then the likelihood is you'll just have it on your harness, a little bit of rope through it and just climb up, put it on the first bolt. You can actually fall directly onto it, so if you fall off after the first bolt and you've not clipped anything else, it'll still work absolutely fine and take a fall. And then up you climb, and there you go, it works perfectly. And then exactly the same if you're using the screw gate without the quick draw. The only thing is obviously a little bit more fiddly trying to do it up on the way, but it's probably worth it, and it's usually easier down the bottom, particularly indoors. One thing I would like to add is indoors, normally, obviously all the drawers are in place. The guys here at the Foundry said it's absolutely fine, just clip above on the first bolt, it works fine with the quick draw in. But at a sport crag, you lower off, you strip all your drawers out. You don't indoors. I nearly left the thing at the first bolt already, so do make sure you get it. Much easier to get it on the way down while you're still attached to the rope than having to scramble back up and get it again. Something I thought was quite interesting, when I got lowered to the floor and obviously I'm creating no weight anymore, it's still sort of like jammed up through the device on that first bolt. What I found, give the rope a quick little tug, it will give enough of a bounce and slack to basically completely free it, and the rope is running completely smoothly again, and it's all good. Mammut recommend that you use between an 8.7 and 11mm rope. I've been using a 9mm today. It's worked really nicely. Most people seem to be between 9 and 9.5, so I can't see there being any issues at all. One thing that I think is really nice, and sort of shouldn't matter, but it really does, doesn't it, is the fact that everything just feels so well made. It's so solid feeling, it's all metal, everything clunks really nicely and reassuringly, and you feel really safe. It's really satisfying as well. So weighing in at 220 grams, it's not the lightest on the market, but it is far from the heaviest, and actually it feels pretty light, pretty nimble, but also I don't think it matters much. You're only ever climbing up to the first bolt with it, and let's be honest, a lot of the time for outdoor climbing, we'll be stick clipping that as well. Now that brings me to that point, it works really well with that because of course you're clipping it to a carabiner, not directly to the bolt. So you can still use your clip stick with that quick draw as you would normally and clip into that first bolt. So Mammut reckon it's perfect for couples where there's quite a weight difference. Obviously if you're climbing with your kid, there's usually quite a big weight difference, but they're keen to belay and get into it. Feels a lot better than slamming your kid into the wall. And it's so easy to use, I kind of can't think why you wouldn't. Another thing worth mentioning is it does seem to come in a bit more cost effective than most of the others on the market too, which is always nice. So I know some people are going to be worried that it might give you a really hard catch, and obviously a soft catch is quite nice. I'd say today we've not really felt that. We can still give quite soft catches. Obviously the belay moving back and forth, sometimes a little jump really helps give a softer catch. And I think this will actually probably help with it, so the belayer can try and do that without the worry of really hitting that first bolt. So obviously I don't think this is for everybody because some people there isn't a weight difference that worries it. But if I'm honest, a lot of people there is. You might be a lighter climber and want to have this as your backup in case you end up belaying a heavier one. But actually, I must admit, being the heavier climber, I think I should be the one who owns it because I hate slamming people. I'm not so worried about me, I just feel bad on them. It's always a shock. So I'm going to be using this quite a lot. So thanks so much to the Foundry having us down here today. It's been really cool to use this. Obviously, if you enjoyed this review, maybe think about subscribing to the channel to see all the videos we do, or come in the shop in Hathersage outside and check us out on Outside.co.uk if you want to see all the details and more cool things like this.